Good afternoon to you. This is Jenny McCormack at Gemini Crafts, based in Brackley in the UK. Thank you for joining my Facebook Live this afternoon. It's extremely warm here today. The dog is sitting sunbathing, which is rather bizarre, isn't it? But she does like sunbathing. So, welcome Tracy, Babsy, Jeanette. Lovely to have you join me this afternoon. So, yesterday we featured these Zany Zebras, a fun stamp set from the new annual catalogue from Stamping Up. And these were the cards that we made. So we had a line of 3 zebras there. Happy birthday across the top. And then on the inside I had kick up your heels. And then obviously we had to have a zebra on the envelope, on the front and the back. So that was a straightforward card. And then I used the Stamparatus to create this one. Thanks to Jen Bucklow, or was it Moretta? I can't remember now. I think it was Jen. Hi Sandra. Hi Moretta. Who gave me the idea for using the trio punch to do those corners to give it a little bit more interest. And I stamped the leaves there in petal pink. So that was that one, designed really for the arrival of a little baby girl. And then not long after, I just had a go with this one. So same layout really, different zebra, and I just put in the middle, you party animal. I didn't have space to put the party hats on top, but I used the little bokeh dots from Beauty Abounds. I had to think about that for a minute. Yeah, it was Jen. Thank you, Moretta. So I used the dots there just to tie in the green of the card. So that was yesterday's. So we're featuring more zebras today. And I thought we'd go pink today, just for a bit of fun. So let me bring these in. So this is the new Magenta Madness. A very bright pink, as you can see, brighter than Melon Mambo. And I have a little bit of ribbon to hand. So what I thought I would do is have a white base card, a black layer, and then a Magenta Madness layer, and I'm actually going to stamp zebras all over that, and then have a single zebra on one of these 2 die cuts. I can't quite decide. I quite like that one, but it would also work on this one here, although it's got a little mark down the centre, so I might use that one and maybe wrap the ribbon around that centerpiece. So I thought we'd have a go with that. So I'm going to stamp in black onto the coloured piece of card, and then I'm going to stamp a pink zebra, I think. If it doesn't look any good, I'll stamp a black one. So let's see, it doesn't really matter which one I put on the backing. I might just do the straight zebra like so, just for something different really. So I hope everybody who's joining me is keeping well. They've just made some announcements about reducing the lockdown here in England. So they're reducing the social distancing to 1 metre plus. But I think a lot of people will just be keeping their distance. I mean, that makes absolute sense really, doesn't it? But the good news for most of us is that hairdressers are open again from the 4th of July. So my lovely hairdresser Lynn, I've already messaged her. No doubt she's going to be sitting on the phone all day long. So I wasn't quite sure whether to do these at a jaunty angle, but I think I'm just going to do them fairly straight, because it's going to be covered up a little bit anyway. Let's put his face on there like that. There we go. Cute. So I'm just working my way around like so. There we go. A little space for feet at the top. These little hooves. Like so. I could have left the centerpiece empty, because I know that's going to be covered up. Yay, haircuts again. Absolutely. Okay, so that's going to be my backing, and that is going to go onto the black. I thought this would be really sweet for a little girl. Let me just cover up my black ink. And because this is going to be hidden, I'm actually going to punch out some of the black with a large punch. Let's see what I've got here. Just so it's not wasted, really. Oh, that's a bit close, isn't it? I could have done that one a little bit higher up. Just use a smaller one. Hello, Carol. Hope you're not working too hard, but it's warm in the surgery today. Okay, like so. So just popping those out so I'm not losing any card from there. Okay, so my Zany Zebras are going to go onto there, and that is going to go onto my white card. That'd be fun, to be honest, even just as it is, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's stamp a pink zebra. So I'm going to stamp both of these. Let me just see if I can, I don't know if that's a bit of glue or a bit of ink. I've got another one here. There we go. I'm going to stamp both and then decide which I like the look of. So I have Magenta Madness, and this one will definitely fit on here. Let's pop that there. And what I'm actually going to do is put him up a little bit high, and then I'm going to wrap the ribbon round underneath. At least that's my plan. There we go. Rather cute. Yep, I'll do the same one. Again, I'm going to do it slightly high. Like so. There we go. So let's have a look at the it's really the shape. Quite like that with the stitching. It's a bit more interesting with the stitching, isn't it, I think. And I'm thinking that this ribbon would sit nicely at the bottom. So let us just do that. So I'm going to put a glue dot on the back to hold the ribbon in place. Oh, it's quiet this afternoon. Do you think everybody's out in their garden? Right. So I'm just putting a glue dot on there and placing my ribbon just on the glue dot. That's just to hold it really. And then let's see if I can make a bow. So just pulling that into the center like that. Going to do a loop, bring this one round and feed it through, and then make those loops a bit smaller. There we go. That's quite sweet, isn't it? Let me find my scissors. I've had a good tidy up today, you'll be pleased to hear, because I've got my class in a box packing going on, so I had to clear everything from my craft room extension, which is my lounge, in preparation for everything. So what I like to do is get all of the components ready and then pop them out in sort of sets. I've got 18 this time, so a set of 9, and then I'll box those up, and then another set of 9. And that way, hopefully, I don't have anything left over, and I've got exactly the right number. So, there we go. I think that's quite cute. So what I might do, just for something different, is put the sentiment in white on black. Now I don't often do heat embossing, but I just thought I would today. So I have a strip of black. I just thought that would really stand out better. So I have an embossing buddy. So sadly we don't sell this anymore, but it's basically an anti-static device to stop any loose bits of powder sticking to your card. And let's see what sentiment I think. I want kick up your heels, even though I've got the one that's not kicking up your heels. Hey ho. Best laid plans. It's quite a sweet sentiment, isn't it? Regardless, I could have the one kicking up their heels on the inside, couldn't I? That's what I'll do. Okay, so this is just an offcut of black. I'm going to use Versamark ink. So this is a clear ink, and you can get refills for your Versamark ink pad. And sorry, this is a bit of an angle. It's going to have a little bit of a gap. Okay, now you can't see that particularly well. You might be able to in the light, but I'll put the white embossing powder on and then you will see it. So there we go. So I've got kick up your heels. Just going to brush that little bit off from the end there. And then I'm going to use my heat tool. Oops, knocking over my bin in the process. which is remarkably full, having had a good clear out. So I'm just going to put the heat gun on setting 2, give it a minute to warm up. And then I'm going to start at one end There you are, you can see that has melted the powder. There we go. So it's nice and bright white. There we go. If you find your embossing powder goes a yellow colour, then it really means that the embossing powder's gone off. It does have a shelf life, and especially if you've left it open in a container, and I'm the worst at that, is I leave this in a container, and obviously there's a lot of air kept in here. Normally these are in little pots. So what I should be doing is, when I finish with this for a length of time, is put it back into the pot, but I don't. So if you find that your embossing powder is going yellow or is just not melting, then it could be that your heat gun is not hot enough. Just give it a little bit more time. Or it could be that your embossing powder is actually past its best. It doesn't have a sell-by date, but... So I'm thinking this up here on the right hand side, or do you think in the centre? What do you think? While you're deliberating, so right or centre, I'm going to pop a zebra kicking up the heels inside. Which is of course the other one I haven't got out. So one thing that's nice about this is you don't actually have to do any colouring, because it's as it is. So here she is, kicking up her heels. So I'm going to do it at an angle like that. There we go. So Barbara says flag the edges, put to one side. Tracy says right. Sandra says the centre. Okay. Let's put this other bit together, and then that'll make my decision for me, won't it? Let me cover the ink before I do anything else. Okay, just turn that over. Okay, so there's my front. So I've got that layer and then that layer. I'm actually going to put the glue on this one first. Now I have opened my Seal Plus. So this is like the Seal, but it's a stronger glue. And I don't know if you can see, but it goes on in like a ribbed formation. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, I think you can. And quite a few people have said that they're preferring this to the other Seal. It is very strong, so you won't be able to reposition this, but it does seem to go on really nicely. I'd also be interested to see what that does in terms of vellum, because I think that might work nicely with vellum. So in case you're wondering, I have cut out the circles deliberately on the back of there. And then here are my sweet The zebra's going to go on the top. Actually, what I do like about it is if you can see it much easier. There we go. So this is the front of my card. Just double checking. So just holding it until I've got it in position. And then this one I'm going to put central, but I'm going to put some dimensionals on. Actually move my dimensionals a bit closer. 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's put that on and then I'll decide. Okay. So there she is on the front. So right hand side with a flag or the centre. Ooh, I can't decide. I am going to cut it to the right and flag that side, I think. So I'm just going to use the edge of a punch to do that. Let's see which one I find to hand. The last one I find, won't it? Go, this one will do nicely. Moretta says right. So I'm just going to have that, just centralising it. I know you might not be able to see it against the light there. So this is the tailored tag punch. Just using that to get a nice even border. There we go. And I'll pop that up on dimensionals too. And this would be perfect for black dimensionals, which are usually in my way. Here they are. So the nice thing about black ones is obviously when you use them on dark coloured card, you know you can't see the edges. Whereas if you put a white one on, it's quite glaring, like so. And the black dimensionals come in a mixed pack of the large size and the small size, so you get both together. And I think I'm going to put that like that, oops, up to the edge. There we go. So one pink zebra card. Little bit of fun. Kick up your heels. There she is, kicking up her heels. I could put the ground on there, couldn't I? That little ground stamp. Otherwise she's sort of floating in the air a little bit. Stitch So Sweetly dies. Yes, that one is. This one is from Tasteful Touches dies. Let's put a bit of ground on in black. I would normally use a grey, but black happens to be here. There we go. Sweet. Just can leave that there while that black dries out. Oh, hi Molly. I wondered where you were. I trust you were probably sat outside in the shade. So here we have some pink zebras, Molly. So I've stamped them on in black on the pink card, Magenta Madness, and then I've stamped a pink zebra on the die cut, added the matching ribbon, and then I've done some white embossing on black because I thought that would stand out nicely, and then the little fun zebra on the inside. Okay, now for my second card, I thought I would have a go making a zebra background just using some black and white card. So this particular one is one that I've done recently in my class in a box. So for anybody who's subscribed to my June class in a box, all of the videos are now up for you to look at. So what I was thinking of doing is just doing strips of black card on the white, or white card on the black. So I haven't tried this. Let's see if it will work. Yeah, they're both nice sets of dies, aren't they, Babsy? So I better move this out of the way, hadn't I? I could see you screaming at me. I'm going to cut these 1 inch intervals, if I've got enough, and then I'm going to cut those at a diagonal. So this one is slightly longer than the white card, so that it will overhang, and then I can trim some edges off if I need to. So I don't know, this might just look too busy, I'm not sure. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6, that's perfect. And then I'm just going to run this corner to corner in my along the cutting guide of my trimmer. And the trimmer is so good it doesn't worry about going right onto that corner. I think our old trimmer might have not been happy. So just going to whiz through these. I'm probably going to do more than I need. So 1 inch strips cut across the diagonal like so. This would also be quite good fun with multicolours, wouldn't it? If you wanted a multicolour zebra. I'm sure that's going to be enough. Wise words. Oh, hi Maureen. Thanks for joining us. This was the one we've just made. Pink zebras. Rather cute. Right, so I have a piece of white card. I'm going to grab my silicone mat so that I can let the glue go onto there, and then I can just peel the whole thing off. Some glue from yesterday. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start a little bit further on, and because I want to go up towards the tip, I'm going to use my green glue. Just coming to the end a little bit. Actually, I'm going to start right on the end, like so. And then what I'm going to do is do some like so, and then some with a gap to get that sort of, hopefully, zebra look. We'll find out. So let's do this one straight. And then this one, like so. That one straight. So I'm keeping this fairly straightforward in that I'm not doing lots of little pieces, which I could do, you know, short pieces and things like that. So if you were doing it for, you know, something special, then you might take a bit more time. I just wanted to see really whether it was going to, whether it would do the job. Let's have that bit further apart. So. I'm just varying the distance between them really. Not sure it doesn't just look like a bit of abstract art as opposed to anything a zebra skin might look like, but never mind. There we go. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I suppose I could have angled it a little bit more maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that will do. So I'm going to take my piece of silicone mat away. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to trim across the back. So it's only a little bit because I've kept these, I think it was about 1/2 centimetre wider, the black, than the white layer. So you can use a trimmer for this. You just have to watch that you wipe the trimmer afterwards if you've got excess glue on the back of here. And equally with your scissors, you want to remove any glue afterwards as well. There we go. Get rid of that little bit there. Okay, so I was thinking tiny little bit on there. What's that? I don't know whether it needs a colour behind it or a black piece behind it. That would work if I'm using pink zebras again, or I could get a black piece and then I think it probably needs to be black. Let's stamp a black one, and I might take that out and put it on a black piece. So unless I pick up the pink. Okay, so let's stamp this one in black and have a look and see. Yeah. It needs something behind it. Let me see what I've got. Let me grab, can't tell if it needs to be black. I think it does. Sorry. I thought I had a piece of black to hand, but obviously not. Okay. Hello, Claire. Thank you for stopping by this afternoon. We're back to Zany Zebras again. Right, just going to cut this one down the centre so I can use that as another card. And then I will cut this to 14.35, so half a centimetre off the size of the card, by 10, which is half a centimetre off the width of the card. So let's see what that looks like on there. That looks better. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of ground on there, I think. Hi Jill, thank you for joining us. More zebras today. There we go. So that's going to go onto there. Now I do have, although I don't think it's going to help, a black piece that I could layer behind, but I think it will be completely lost on there anyway. And then what I need is a small sentiment on this black bit, or I could put something in there, couldn't I? So let's pop these bits together. I'm going to punch out of there again. This is a 2-inch punch. I'll do that from the other side and then it's nice and even. There we go. Okay, so that's going to go onto here. So this is my Seal Plus. Like so. And I'm just not going to push it down too hard because I've got holes in the back of this. There we go. Oh, as luck would have it, it wasn't really on the holes at all. That was definitely more by luck than judgment. Okay, so this is my top opening card. And actually, if I did it that way, put my sentiment bottom right hand side. There we go. So that's down there. Is our funky little zebra. And I'm thinking to pop a sentiment in this little corner rather than add it in. Happy birthday will just fit. Let's try it. If not, I'll put it on a piece and then stick it on top. Bear in mind that there is a little bit of a gap all the way around the stamp. Do it all in black and then it's perfect for a young boy, isn't it? So let me just get an idea of the positioning of that. Okay, it's quite accurate actually to that stamp. So I'm going to bring it down from the edge just a little bit. Woo. That was lucky, wasn't it? There we have. So I think that's going to go up on some dimensionals and I'm going to add some sequins onto that, give it a bit of bling. Now in my sorting out, I found some black, white, black, silver, white and gold sequins. So I'm going to use those. These are quite old. I don't know, metallic sequin assortment. Must have been the last annual or even the Christmas catalogue. So I'm going to pop that onto dimensionals first and then add some sequins. I think I might put sequins on the background as well as there we go. So tomorrow morning I shall be back at 10 o'clock with some more animals. Go. There we are. So I just want to catch that bit of black and that bit of black there. And then I've got some stars, so they would look quite nice, wouldn't they, the stars? So let's pick some of those out. I've got a white one. Silver one. White one. Oh, there's another black one hiding in there. So I'm just going to dot those around with a tiny bit of wet glue. Oh, I'm really struggling to focus. Sorry, everybody. Come on. Let me see if I can zoom in, whether it will focus any better. We will find out. Oops, that was a bit overkill, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Got it. Thank you, Babsy. As I say, be perfect for one of my nephews. And then the pink one, oops, would be perfect for a niece. Oh, so I put a clear one down there. That wasn't very clever, was it? I'll put another one on top. Come on. There's a gold one. Let's put a white one on there. Also covers up the glue perfectly. Let's have a black one. Oh, don't want black on white, do I? Black on black even. Sorry, this is rather painstaking. You watch me do this, isn't it? Right, what I've got left, a white one here. So I will need to let these star sequins dry. Oh, that's okay, Babsy. Thank you for joining me. What I'm going to do is lift this one off, if I can. Brute force. And a tiny bit more glue to that one. There we go. And that's it. A black and white zebra backed card. There we go. Let me tuck these back in before I lose them. It's funny that I should find those this morning. Oops. There we are. Safely out of the way. And that is it. So there is our background zebra card. I'm not sure it's come out as well as I was hoping, I have to say, but it still gives the effect. So that was the main thing, and I think a youngster would love it anyway. So there we go, one black and white zebra card and one, thank you Jeanette, he's camouflaged. One very pink one. So kick up your heels, that says there. And then this one says happy birthday. And then I might put inside it's time to celebrate once that's dried with the sequins. Or you party animal, or both. So thank you so much for joining me today. That's what we've made this afternoon, or I've made and you've watched, so I hope that's been interesting to you. If you have got the zebras and you make some cards, by all means do share them with me on either my Facebook page for my team, if you're one of my team, or if you're a customer of mine, then pop it in my VIP group, which is there for you to share your projects in safety. So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I shall be back tomorrow morning, that's Wednesday at 10 AM, for some more animal magic. Thank you. Bye bye.